I'm Danielle Toronto, and we are customers of Marshall and Sterling. They have been amazing for us, for our business. They take care of our farm, our horses, our cars. It's basically one-stop shopping for us.
I'm Jimmy Toronto. Unfortunately, we've actually had to really use Marshall and Sterling for horse deaths, and I have to say that Marshall and Sterling has been an amazing company. They have taken care of things. It's been worry-free. The person we deal with, Missy, she takes it all upon herself. Once we go to her with the claim, she does it all for us. And I have to say, since we've been with Marshall and Sterling, I just can't think of going anywhere else. I put all my trust, all my faith in them.
Premier Equestrian, the #1 choice for footing products. Premier Equestrian, footing products that improve performance. Premier Equestrian, footing products for cushion and stability. Call 800-611-6109 or visit premierequestrian.com.
The beauty, power, and elegance of warm blood horses is no accident. A history of carefully crafted breeding practices that walk the delicate line of art and science has created a horse that is as strong as it is graceful, so that it may successfully compete at the most elite level in equine sports. Breeders can access an American Stallion station that provides both fresh chilled and frozen semen options with full transparency on semen quality. Set on 800 acres of Lexington, Kentucky bluegrass, Spy Coast Farm is revolutionizing the breeding practices of warm blood horses. World-renowned stallions with proven bloodlines that have successfully competed at the top level of international Grand Prix sport are collected by a resident veterinarian and processed promptly for shipment to a domestic breeder for a timely insemination of their ovulating mare. The experts at Spy Coast Farm are determined to improve your U.S. breeding options by taking the guesswork out of semen quality.
Welcome to the Great Lakes Equestrian Festival here at Flint Field's a horse park where you can ride it with peace of mind, knowing that Traverse City Horse Shows provide Show Plus powered by Captive One benefits with every entry. Scan the Show Plus QR codes posted around the grounds and in the horse show office, or visit showplus.com to view your benefits or report an incident. With Show Plus, your passion's protected. Show Plus, powered by Captive One, is the first of its kind horse and rider benefit program designed to reimburse out-of-pocket costs that may not be covered by insurance. Show Plus allows riders and owners alike to compete with peace of mind. Thank you to Iguana Yachts for sponsoring today's speed stake. Iguana Yachts made in Normandy are the most capable amphibious boats on the market with high performance on both land and sea. Traverse City Horse Shows is proud to partner with Captive One Advisors to offer a $30,000 rider bonus for open jumper riders. This bonus is determined based on points accumulated in classes held at 1.45 meters or greater throughout the Traverse City Spring Horse Shows, at the Great Lakes Equestrian Festival, and the Traverse City Fall Shows as well. The bonus will be presented following the American Gold Cup Grand Prix presented by Captive One Advisors on September 18th. Currently on top of in the lead for that Captive One open jumper rider bonus, Kathleen Driscoll. Margie Engel currently sits in second, Beat Manley in third, Amanda Derbyshire fourth, Kelly Cruciati Vanderveen fifth, and Allie Wolf currently sixth. And those are rankings for our Captive One rider bonus. We'd like to thank Captive One for their sponsorship of the rider bonus. Captive One is a family of companies that assesses, forms, and manages captive insurance companies. With a captive insurance company that you own, instead of paying premiums to a commercial carrier, you pay premiums to your captive. Any money that is not utilized or paid in claims stays in reserves, can be invested, and may become profit in your captive. For a feasibility review, business owners can go to CaptiveOne.com. Today's class is all about going fast, and Twiddle is your sponsor of the Time to Beat. Twiddle USA supplements are the highest quality performance horse supplements for equine athletes. Integrated nutrition is a concept scientists at Twiddle have embraced for more than 50 years. Based in Switzerland and sold in over 70 countries, Twiddle had fed generations of the best horses for the greatest horsemen in the world. Each product is thoroughly tested and guaranteed to be safe, easy to digest, and contain no banned ingredients. Twiddle ensures that each feed supplement batch meets their stringent criteria for quality, safety, and anti-doping control before ever leaving their facility. Safe, effective, compliant. Twiddle is the perfect nutrition complement for horse owners who compete and who care. Course that our combinations will take in today's Iguana Yachts at 1.45 speed class at the 5-star level will begin over the Cabana Coast Oxer, jumping towards the flag. Riders will make a right-hand turn around the Major League show jumping island to fence number 2, the White Oxer with the mint chocolate rails and the plank in the middle. Bending left to the fence at number 3, Major League show jumping vertical, jumping towards the judges' stand. Turn around the CP train set to the first combination on course at 4AB, and the vertical Oxer combination with the orange wings and the orange and white rails. Right-hand turn around the Captive One Oxer at 11 to approach the line at 5 and 6, riding past the judges' booth at the top of the ring, the Eagle vertical at 5, and the CP train Oxer at fence number 6. Turning right and cutting back across the center of the arena, the flower combination at 7, Oxer to a vertical at 7AB. Then to fence number 8, the Caliday Oxer, and then from there, riders will ride past the arc and turn left or rolling back to fence number 9 in the Major League show jumping vertical. And from there, it'll be a right-hand turn up the final line over the course in our Iguana Yachts Speed Classic this afternoon. The Oxer at 10 with the Michigan Night Sky down to the Skinny at number 11. Time allowed set at 80 seconds, and we are expecting 21 horse and rider combinations in today's $1,500 meter 45 at Speed Stake. And that tone there gets us underway for today's meter 45 is Speed, sponsored by Iguana Yachts. 21 to show.
Thank you, Jason. Yes, 21 to go in this Iguana Yachts at Speed here this afternoon. One of two five-star classes for us as part of Major League Show Jumping. Second stage of the series that takes us across the United States of America, Canada, and down to Mexico as well. 21, as he said, will be taking on this speed track set by Cedric Longis of France, our course designer here this week. And starting off with Jordan Coyle, custodian for the Land Farm of Newark, New Jersey. The 10-year-old that's by Chamblon for Jordan. Brilliant performances, those following the Major League. They'll have seen from him at the tail end of last year down at the Desert Horse Park, winning the Grand Prix there, and then following that up in Vancouver at the new first stage of Major League jumping with that as well. But here, a nice spin round for them to get ready for the week. Of course, those Grand Prix wins with a different ride to this one. And Hannah's going to be alongside as well for a little bit of a rundown of what they've been up to, Hannah.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon, Stephen. As you say, Jordan Coyle going fantastically well. He's been going very well with this horse. In the top 10, 6 out of 16 times with this horse this year. They've been jumping around Calgary and Vancouver, as you touched on there, as well as New York and Wellington. Of course, Jordan, also the winner of the 5-star Grand Prix in Vancouver with Ariso, but this is certainly a very good horse to have in his string as well. A little bit of a younger one, but really lots of clear rounds, and in fact he's only ever dropped more than one pole twice with this horse.
Yeah, looking good down there, down the final line. A little bit of a skinny fence to finish off there at the Butterflies, and there to complete their round of those going. And it's 11 fences on the track in all with a time allowed of 80 seconds. So Jordan Coyle with one for the next generation. Not looking too stressed by that one. 75.16 for the first to go in the Iguana Yachts 145. $1,500 class. We saw pretty well all the combinations yesterday, giving a chance to get around this arena and get their toes wet. It was a little bit breezier yesterday. Beautiful sunshine here today, I'm glad to say, in Traverse City. And whoops, not quite the start they would have wanted. Skylar Riley and the 8-year-old O'Hara. Unfortunately, just taking a little look there. A little bit green yesterday as well. I think you could see that coming because they came down this Cabana Coast fence, and they're clean and clear this time around. On this 8-year-old by Echo Van Heert, Nierenbusch, the Belgian-bred ride for Skylar Riley, and now off and running for them. Again, this will just go in the educational book, I think, as they develop as a partnership. Very new partnership, Hannah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is only this horse's second show with Skylar. She jumped this horse at Upperville in the 4-star classes, had a great double clear, but then also had a bit of a higher faulting round. So I think the horse, as you say, is just getting the miles under the belt, just getting used to this environment. As you say, it's only an 8-year-old, and I think just having a very good look around this arena, but certainly sets them up well for the rest of the week. Horse previously ridden by Sander Kinies of Belgium.
Yeah, one that certainly looks as though it's got the talent, but they're just getting used to this Michigan arena. On the 4 at this stage, of course, had that run out early on, but now jumping cleanly over the fences as where they have done all the way round. Haven't touched a pole. But time-wise, it's going to take up the faults as well. But again, it'll go in the experience book. And looking forward to seeing this pair later on into the year. So this final line. Just to that... then fence to finish off, and there we go. So 11 fences in all, 21 the score, 96-49. You can see just in the background there one of the Iguana yachts as well. Very different, very special in that they have tracks that come out underneath them, so you can go up onto the ground with them. Those that were watching the commercials a little bit earlier on, well worth a look. Something really great, actually just a lot of fun. Hunter Holloway now, Eastern Jam, and for the Hayes Investment Corporation. And the 13-year-old Dutch bred ride by Lexicon, originally from Kansas, now based in Florida for Hunter Holloway. This has been a well-established pair, and I think we'll see them maybe have a bit of a spin round here, Hannah. Let's have a look.
Yeah, absolutely. It's certainly an interesting prospect for Hunter and for the team. You will notice with the little graphic there that Hunter's on the Crusaders team, who, of course, last night put themselves in pole position for the team competition. But this horse, as you say, they've been jumping well. They've had some good clears, winning a 2-phase competition at 2-star level here at Traverse City last summer. Not too many miles on the clock this year so far, but really successful in the 2021 season with plenty of good rounds.
Yes, that draw last night, they were having to get their eyes well and truly fixed on some fabulous diamonds on the mask there to decide what they thought their expert eye had on that jewellery, but the ones that were closest to what they needed to do were the Crusaders, and so they go last. Eye Candy penultimate, Helios, they'll start off with Northern Lights tomorrow as well, so the order of the team there determined by last night's new little challenge for them, picking through the carrots, and just at the last there, neatly done on the 4, 67.46 for Hunter Holloway and Eastern Jam. So thanks to Yvel Jewellery last night as well as part of that draw at the Bonobo Winery. Beautiful spot there, and I'm glad to say a beautiful day again now, Hannah. Jordan Coyle leads the way, clear 75.15.
Yeah, such a great evening at that draw party, as you say, presented by Yvel Jewellery, and it was quite the challenge. I think following the physical challenge of the draw party selection in Vancouver, it was a bit of a change for the riders to have a bit more of a mental challenge in selecting how many diamonds were on that item. But plenty of exciting riders who, you know, when you look down this list, we've got a lot of top riders who are all representing fantastic teams. Of course, Alberto Michan having that fantastic performance yesterday as well, now bringing Bugatti here, who is a little bit of an older horse for him.
Yeah, it is, but it's a very experienced horse, and actually not usually been with Alberto Michan, so it's interesting to see him in the saddle now for Eduardo Leon on this 16-year-old Dutch-bred ride by Heartbreaker. And of course he was the winner yesterday of that opening speed class with Firewall, but again, 2 classes really just to get them into their stride. This is just getting the blood up for the rest of the week. Tomorrow will be that team class. This afternoon later on into that Grand Prix qualifier as well, just short of 140,000 in that class too. And Alberto Michan using every opportunity here to just get them used to doing these tight turns, because later on it will pay off some big money. Picks up, look like the 7 down there to the last fence, and very, very good start for them. Bugatti, and 67.73 for Alberto Michan. Will now power into the lead once again. Plenty in the engine, as plenty have seen that horse lots of times before, and taking the lead. So that's now the Twiddle time to beat. 67.73. Tana Karotkin now, and Quinn 33, horse that came from Germany, 12-year-old Holsteiner by Kidam de Ravel. And Tana, again, building a partnership with this combination together. And again, you see the logo alongside, part of the Spyco Spies this week. Not sure whether he's going to be on the team. Again, they go down to 3 riders for the team. They have a squad of 4 here generally, which to pick their way through. Tana Karotkin, though, starting with a good pace here. Nice inside turn inside the CP fence to get a good shot into this double. Lands out of there in a good time indeed. That looks good, around about 21 seconds coming out of there. Back to that double. Leading time so far, 67.73. Path of least resistance so far for Tana Karotkin. It's going to take that Oxer on a good angle as well. Easy stretch out over that. Good spin back here to the Major League vertical. And this could set a very different time to beat. Just holds a little down to the last just so they don't get low to it, and it works well. 61.31. And there, a very, very different leading time now. The Twiddle leading time comes from Tana Karotkin on 61.31. Takes 6 seconds plus off that of Alberto Michel. Pretty impressive stuff. Tana Karotkin to Molly Ash Corley, and Cappuccino for the Lewisburg farm. 10-year-old Westphalian by Comme Il Faut. And this one is bred for Grand Prix and for speed, Hannah.
Yeah, absolutely. They've had some really good results in both of those sorts of competitions. 8th with the good clear and just the 1 fence down in the jump off in a 3-star Grand Prix in Tryon last month. But they also won the Lugano Diamonds $100,000  3-star Grand Prix at Lexington in June. But they've had some good results as well in the speed class at that very same show. But plenty of Grand Prix good clear rounds to get them into the jump off in a lot of competitions. Definitely ones to watch for this week.
Yeah, certainly are, and developing as a Grand Prix combination coming through for Molly Ash Corley. Of course, many times winner of Grand Prix, including multiple win in the American Gold Cup. She's one of her major Grand Prix wins here in the US before now. That's, of course, coming up later in the year here in Traverse City into September. Been a long time been riding for Beth Johnson and the Lewisburg team. Wonderful horses they've had and produced. Yeah, and is one of the great supporters of the sport here in the US and a great enthusiast, which is wonderful to see. And there, just at the last, finishing on 77.83. Good, easy cruise round for Cappuccino. And Molly Ash Corley for the USA. So not too much trouble there. A few little spins to test them out. And we'll put them into 4th place at this point. But Tana Karotkin steaming well ahead at the moment on Quinn 33 on 61.31. Quentin Judge, HH Zorro Z for the Double H farm. He's down in Florida and also up in Greenwich, Connecticut. 9-year-old by Zorocco Blue, this grey horse that has been coming through into the international classes this year, Hannah.
Yeah, they jumped really well in Vancouver at the first leg of this series as well. They were 15th in the Grand Prix, just having 1 fence down there. Also had a good run in the 2-phase competition there too, but they've been jumping in New York and in Wellington. Again, just 1 fence down in the 4-star Grand Prix at Wellington and a couple down in the 3-star Grand Prix there as well. So quite a lot of really solid performances. You can certainly see the improvement in this pair and certainly see the potential for the clears.
Yeah, it's been a building partnership all the way through the year and last as well. Quentin just taking a nice steady line back to the Eagles. Beautiful decoration on the fences here. As I say, delighted to say, not quite the breeze, a bit more than a breeze yesterday. Just breezes into that Oxer. So on the 1 down so far, just as the 4 comes up on the scoreboard. And Quentin, who's ridden right the way through to those US teams before now. Double H Farm, of course, another that's been a wonderful supporter of the sport right the way through. Catches that one in front. Quentin not putting the horse under any great pressure here this afternoon. Just a nice hack of 7 down to the last. So it's 8 plus 2 for time, 81-1, 10 there for Quentin Judge and HH Zorro Z. Couple down, but not the worst day at the office, as I say, plenty to build on as they get the mileage up too. Natalie Dean, Charles Saint-Amel, a pair that have gelled well now for the Marigold Sport horses. Horse that was with Michael Morrissey for quite some time, and then jumping here last year as well. Went on to the teams for Team USA too, including in Spruce Meadows last year. Now well established as a partnership, and what a lovely partnership. Super power horse for Natalie, who's on the Lugano Diamond squad, and I think probably going to be on the team here tomorrow. Of course, that's a team that includes Kent Farrington and Vanessa Hood, amongst others, here this week. And this one, Hannah, is one to really look towards the Grand Prix with.
Absolutely. They were 3rd in the 5-star Grand Prix here last July. But they've also been jumping in World Cup and Nations Cup competitions. They've been in the top 10 in the last 3 starts that they've had, an 8th and 2 third places. They're becoming quite the clear round machines in their more recent performances. But Natalie herself as well is such a talented young rider. She's 8th at the moment in the under-25 world rankings and has obviously been super successful as a young rider. But with the combination of riders on Team Lugano, this really is a horse that would be fantastic for the team, and also, as you say, really one for Natalie to look out for the Grand Prix.
Yeah, with the Alarm Further team coming into the final couple of fences on the track here. Again, not going to really shake the Twiddle leading time, but is going to be in there with a good round at 76.41 for Natalie Dean. Charles Saint-Amel, again, just getting their eye in for the week. First class that that pair has jumped here, goes into 4th place so far. Working our way through the 21, it looks like there will be to go in this class, 26 originally. Kent Farrington with Gazelle going to be the next up. Leading so far, Tana Korotkin. The Twiddle time to beat, 61.31. And Quinn 33. I think we're going to have a little change around there by the looks of it. Was going to be Ken Farrington, maybe going to Paul O'Shea, just a slight hold for a moment. It's Iguana Yachts 145. Yes, that Paul O'Shea coming into view. Emerald van Voorhoff for the Emerald Partners himself and the Equestrian Farms, 14-year-old by Emerald that we saw yesterday, and getting revved up for the week. We'll wait and see whether Coach goes on the team this week for the Eye Candy squad, or whether he's going to be the driving force from down behind. Just up on the hill looks like Erica Hatfield, the lady who's behind the Eye Candy squad. And remember, if the horse is under the Eye Candy banner. Paul O'Shea often been in the anchor role for the Eye Candy team, and could well be again this week. Of course, had that terrific run last year, including winning the Grand Prix in Monterey. As with Chancellor S, that he went on to win one of the big classes in Wellington this year. Emerald not lacking in experience now. Out of fellow arena, back to the lines of Bacardi Orange de Muse. Beautiful sunshine afternoon. And Hannah, Paul in this horse, again, he's got some choices to make over teams because he's got Squirt Gun here as well and a few others to go through in the squad.
Really has got a great string of horses at the moment. Emerald is really going from strength to strength as well. They come to this show fresh from a win at 5-star level in Calgary, so they're pretty on form as well. And as you just touched on there, they also jumped very successfully in Wellington all the way up to 5-star level, jumping in Grand Prix pretty much every week there. But also, as you say, you know, he's been extremely successful on the Major League circuit. He was the overall winner individually last year, and is certainly going to have his eye on one of the top spots this year. I'm sure Jordan Coyle, of course, leading, but Paul was 4th in the 5-star Grand Prix in Vancouver, so he's still within touching distance of a top spot.
Very, very early days. Only one leg completed so far of the Major League Series. But they're round for 11 in total, 90.3 steady round for Paul O'Shea and Emerald van ter Voorhof. And now we go to Kent Farrington, Gazelle. For himself, Robin Parsky, the 16-year-old by Kashmir van Schuterhof. And what a horse this has been, including having won the Aachen Grand Prix. Been a major 5-star player. This not going to be the class I would expect him to go chasing round to try and win. He's going to have his eyes on that Grand Prix later on this week. And here I expect to be just a good stretch round for this pair. But lovely to see them in action. Any chance to see horses of this level is always a privilege. And should just give them a nice stretch around. But Hannah, this partnership's set of results makes very, very fun reading.
Yeah, it really does, actually. You know, you were saying in our class yesterday about how many fantastic horses Kent's really developed up to the top level and really has such a strong string at the moment. Gazelle is certainly one of those. You know, you touched on the Rolex Grand Prix of Aachen there, but also competing in the Rolex Grand Prix of Geneva back in December for a 5th place. That was their most recent Rolex Grand Prix, but also they were 9th in the Grand Prix in Vancouver. Just having some unlucky poles down in the jump off, but a very, very fast time. So not only is this horse becoming pretty consistent in terms of clear rounds, you know, their last 4 starts they were in the top 10, and then 3 prior to that, just one 15th place separating those. So not only really keeps the fences up, but fast across the ground as well.
Yeah, very fast across the ground, as Kent's noted, for one of the true jockeys of the sport. Really can go up to a racing pace in that real decider. Clearance 79.55, doesn't need to today. They're going to have their eyes on much bigger money throughout the week, but it's a good little outing for them. I'd love to see Gazelle out with Kent Farrington on the clear. There goes into 6th place at the moment. Still Tanner Korotkin and Quinn 33 with a Twiddle time to beat at 61.31. Rowan Willis, Billy Gilder, 13-year-old by Billy Congo. And back to the line of Dollar Bay and Cavalier for a bit of British and Irish breeding in there. Billy Congo, the sire of this horse, was a horse ridden by William Funnell, British team rider for Great Britain. In fact, he rode that horse to win a European gold. Billy Gilder with Rowan Willis, who spent quite some time of his career based in Great Britain. Now moved across to find home in the US, and has also been competing in Canada in recent weeks as well. Another of stalwarts for Spruce Meadows now, Hannah.
Yeah, they jumped in 6 different competitions in Spruce Meadows very recently, all the way with fences up to 1m60. Shows you this horse's scope right to the very top level. They had 3 top 10 placings there. Not so many clears. They had a couple of time penalties in one of the 5-star classes there, but you know, really getting the miles on the clock at the very top level. They jumped in Vancouver as well, jumping in the Nations Cup for just a couple of fences down, and just the one down in the 5-star Major League Grand Prix as well.
Yeah, it's been an interesting partnership coming through last year as they did, and for him, the horse, although 13 years of age, hasn't had the experience at this level. He's been reeling over the last 12 months, giving this horse the outings in the 5 stars, and just getting a nice group together now. Of course, he's best known for that fabulous Horse Blue movie. But always about building up the next group too, and this one is really shaping into a nice horse for the big time, and certainly got plenty of power there tucked under the hood. 85.16 leaves them with 6, and those all coming up for time there for Rowan Willis and Billy Gilder this time, so going into 8th place. Getting to see some stars on show here this afternoon, and Beezy Madden with her former winner of the World Cup Finals, Breitling LS, the 16-year-old for Beezy, and what a fabulous combination this has been too. LS, so coming out of the La Silla on their stud book there. La Silla, of course, Monterey, one of the stages of the Major League Jumping. There'll be 2 stages, in fact, going into November of this year. Fabulous place that's been, but a great influencer of world sport, not just as a horse show, but also in their stud program too, and stud book. Beezy, one of the great influences on the sport herself. So many people modelling themselves, but never are we able to get quite as good or as talented as this amazing lady. Gold medalist, of course, for USA, multiple winner of many Grand Prix, including that American Gold Cup that we'll see later on this season. But Breitling getting a good outing here, and again, not expecting them to go chasing, but they finished top of the podium here last year, Hannah.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a really happy arena for them. This is exactly the kind of place that they performed so fantastically well previously, as you just mentioned there, winners of the 5-star Grand Prix here last year. Also, they were 10th in the Grand Prix, the 5-star Grand Prix in Vancouver. Just had a bit of an unlucky run out that caused them to have 9 in the jump off there, but they've been jumping well at Calgary as well. A 5th place in a 5-star class there was their best result, but as you say, you know, what this lady hasn't done is hardly worth mentioning, and certainly what she's been doing recently around Canada and around Wellington has been fantastic. Really, this is only their 4th international show together this year, so just keeping the horse fresh, but I'm sure, as you say, she'll have her eye on that 5-star Grand Prix again.
Yeah, horse is 16 years of age now. She's just picking the targets throughout the season, as a true pro does, with a getting older horse. And they will jump around nicely there, as expected for Beezy Madden. Finishes with 1 time at 80.29, but watch out on Saturday. That will be for the Major League Jumping Grand Prix for Beezy Madden. In the meantime, Charlotte Meadows, Italy HDH, the 9-year-old Dutch bred by Cream on Top, and part of the Trailblazers team here this week as part of their squad here. Trailblazers can be looking there to Emma Marlowe, Santiago Lambre and Nikki Gallagher this time around. And Team Helios will be back to try and win following on their first success coming in Vancouver, and it'll be Carl Cook, Mark Blumen and Simon McCarthy to fly the flag for them this time around. If you haven't seen the team competition before, tune in tomorrow afternoon, 5 o'clock for that. Speed and excitement on the cards. Charlotte Meadows, though, off to a pretty good start with Italy HDH. Nice move away from the double. Nice balanced run to date. Again, not too many trappy tests in there for them today. This to just be the second class to really ease them into the week. This afternoon's big class being the one to really start to get the head scratching. Didn't have the easiest day yesterday, but now looking a much more settled run here today. Just one more for Chandler to the finish, and there we go. Nicely done. 73.47 cruises around for Chandler Meadows, and Italy HDH for the 9-year-old goes clear and into third so far. Alberto Misha and Bugatti in second place so far. Tanaka Rotkin still with the Twiddle time to beat at 61.31. Hilary McNerney now for the Lugano Diamonds team. Stilbe. Lugano Diamonds looks like they'll be fielding Kent Farrington, Vanessa Hood and Natalie Dean tomorrow. So Hilary going to stay on the sidelines for individual honours. But again, very capable of picking up some classes. Another I would think has been up in Spruce Meadows.
Yes, indeed she has. She's been jumping well there. She's jumped 3 clears there, so it was 3 clears out of 7 rounds jumped at Spruce Meadows, so a little under 50% clear round rate there, but had really sort of culminating in a fantastic double clear with a win in a 5-star jump-off class at Spruce Meadows. Then came here to Traverse City just to have 1 fence down in a 3-star at the end of last month. This horse, of course, is one that Hilary's been riding since early 2021, as it was previously with Richard Fellers.
Just gets the inside line on the 1 fence down so far. Nice little cut across the Major League vertical. And again, this gives a good opportunity. Just drops a rail there as they fall short coming into the line. She makes a bit of a correction to come down to this final vertical, but gives them a chance to just, again, get their eye in for the rest of the week for some speed jumping. On 8, 65.02. So second fastest time, but 2 down there for Hilary McNerney and Stilbe. You see them taking off, but don't get across it, I'm afraid. Erin Davis Heineken, NKH Cento Blue for NKH LLC. 12-year-old Oldenburg by Centadel. Also with her longtime partner Leonie here this week as well. Erin from Fort Worth down in Texas. So it was also part of teams here last year as well. Now setting themselves up for this Cabana Coast fence. Jumps nicely as they go towards the entrance, then that loop back here. Again, this is a big, powerful jumping horse. This taking these fairly easily in their stride. Just trying to get some control down there. Does it? Gets inside the CP fence to the double. This is neatly done so far. Not racing, but tidy. Of course, it's not only been ridden well through last year with Christian Heineken. Very easily cruising along with this one, Hannah.
Yeah, Christian actually rode this horse on the Roadrunners team last year, and in fact was on the winning team for them at Monterey. So it's certainly one that could suit that format as well, perhaps one that Erin might have in a top competition this week.
Yeah, I remember him riding to that win there in Monterey last year. But as you say, very much fitted back together very nicely. Plenty of scope there and ability. Hops over the Oxer and goes into third place so far. Erin Davis Heineken and NKH Cento Blue. Still the Twiddle time to beat from Tanaka Rotkin and Quinn, 61.31. Nicky Gallagher now. Unique star for the team that he'll be a part of, the Trailblazers, alongside Santiago Lamare and Emma Marlowe here this week. 14-year-old by Niagara Dell, but it's, although 14-year-old, a fairly newer ride for him.
Yeah, it is. It's not one that Nicky's been riding too much. The horse was previously ridden by Hanna Moritzen of Sweden for quite some time, actually, and prior to that by Mathieu Biot. That was up until 2018. So, as you say, the horse has got a good few miles on the clock and has some fantastic results, actually, with Mathieu. Some wins at 2 and 3 star level. Also, some very good results, some very good top tens with Hanna Moritzen. Now, though, Nicky Galligan taking the reins. And this is their first international competition together. Hanna Moritzen took this horse to Calgary, where they jumped double clear for a 9th in a 2-star immediate jump-off class. That was only over fences of 1.30 m, though, so Nicky really taking this horse up to the very top level here this week.
Yeah, and certainly moving up to that nicely. Just as I say, as a newer partnership, still going to be a few uncertainties in there. Nicky giving them a good drive there to get into this double. So he had a pretty good run in Thunderbird 2, and again, not going to shake up the lead, but not their intention here this afternoon by the looks of it, just to get a good round under the belt. Just gets a little close to the Oxer, corrects it for the final vertical, and will be home just over 73.37 there for Nicky Galligan and Unique Star. Takes them into 11th place so far. Skylar Riley comes back into view with Kill Limbo. Just around 4 remaining in his class by the looks of it. So initial 26, but actually down to 21 to go. Kill Limbo, 13 years of age now, the Holsteiner by Kidam Dorvel out of Soda. So we'll see whether they pop into the lead here, Hannah. Time to beat 61.31. But this pair, well established. Don't think we saw them yesterday.
No, but they were jumping here last week. Jumped in the 3-star Grand Prix. Had a couple of fences down, but prior to that had a double clear in another 3-star class here for a 6th place. So they can jump really well here. They've been jumping Upperville at Devon and in Wellington as well. And very, very rarely do they drop more than one pole. Only twice, in fact, this year have they dropped more than one pole. So a really great, consistent record by the Jumping Clears, or just having that one pole dropped.
Little look around there on the corner. Settle coming over the Oxer. All coming on the inside line here. Plenty of room to get back to this double. It's a nice little turn away. And back across the ring near the entrance to the Canaday Oxer there. Again, just a few little tests to get them ready for the week. Just to be sharp and up for the big competitions. And there we go. It's going to be just short of 70 seconds for them. 68.70. 68.70 for Skylar Riley and Kilimbo will go into 3rd place at the moment. Still Tanner Karotkin well ahead of the field at the moment with Quinn 33 with that Twiddle leading time. Not too many left to go. Alberto Michan going to take another run here with the horse that he won with yesterday, Firewall. Firewall for Eduardo Leon. Also same owner as Bugatti. 12-year-old Dutch bred horse by Lexicon. Dutch bred back to Pedinas on the dam side. We'll see whether he wants to go racing again today, Hannah.
Yeah, they were super quick yesterday. Really, really impressive. Alberto's been going fantastically with this horse. Actually in a range of competitions, but particularly well in the speed classes as well. They've jumped 60% clear rounds this year. And it's really been this year that Alberto's taken on the ride and started to build this partnership with this horse. It was previously ridden by Theo Genn, but as I say, 60% clears with Alberto, and many, many of those in speed classes. You know, they were second in a 2-star FEI Grand Prix actually in Sarasota, but also second in a 4-star 2 phase in Wellington. So getting the miles in a range of different competitions, but gone really well in the speed classes.
Absolutely, and this, again, like yesterday, a good way to just keep them running at that pace as well, keep the blood up. Horses don't know the difference between what prize money is being competed for each week or each class. So just making sure they are very much at the top of the game and ready to go for what's coming this week. And we'll pick up a little bit here as well again. Not going to be far away, but not going to be close enough to the leading time. They'll go into second, Roberto Misha and Firewall. Picks them up a few $100 though. And leaves Tana Karotkin in the lead on 61.31. And Roberto Misha, in fact, was second and third. So picking up a little bit of slice of prize money here this afternoon. 2 left to come in this Iguana Yachts speed class on a lovely afternoon. Great to say. Wind has disappeared. Sun is back out. It's a recliner afternoon here in Michigan. On to Georgina Bloomberg and Manhattan for the Gotham Enterprises, her home base. Based up in Old Salem in New York. And of course down in Florida as well. But she's very much New York through and through. 11-year-old by Metropolitan out of Lamina. Both of which were horses that she rode and bred this horse. And over the last 12 months plus, this horse has been moving up into these 5-star classes as well. Got some good exposure in Wellington, Florida earlier on this year as well. Georgina heading here to Michigan to Traverse City for the first time last year. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Back again. Just tried to take a tight turn up there. Didn't quite go to plan. But again, this not the class we're going to lose too much sleep, but they've got plenty to go for later on to the week, but they just want to be well prepped for it. Just goes on a wide route here to give her a good shot down to the Oxer. Just nice and quietly, there we go. And then just 3 more left from home. Again, the key to finish on a high note. I think a little extra stride in there, but not anything to worry about. Finishing with 4 in 71.99 for the 1-foot stand for Georgina and the homebred Manhattan. And another one to look out for. The classes will be competing individually this week. Carl Cook will be dual because he'll be also competing on the teams this week as well. Team Helios for him, and of course he was on that winning squad as well up in Vancouver. Carl Cook alongside Mark Blumen and Sam McCarthy, as I mentioned a little earlier. 10-year-old Coachella by Christian 25, that Hannah has now really come up there to meet some of his top rides, including Caillou.
Yeah, he's, as you say, he's got a good few top rides at the moment, and Coachella is one that he jumped quite extensively in the 5-star competitions in Vancouver. Successfully in the 2 phase for a double clear. They actually jumped 3 clears out of 4 rounds completed there. They were entered in the Nations Cup the following week as well. They've also been jumping well in Wellington and in Lexington recently, but really stepping up well to the 5-star level. Only ever had 1 fence down at 5-star level this year. No more than that. They also jumped a great clear round for the team in Thermal back in December last year on the Major League team. But as you say, such a good combination for the team competition. Be really interesting to see them tomorrow.
Yep, Carl with the choices of where to run, to which horses to go to for the teams, and of course the Grand Prix as well. Tremendous record that he had last year here in Michigan in the Grand Prix throughout the Traverse City set of horse shows. Now a nice hack home to the last. And Coachella will finish well on 70.20. So it will be a win in this Iguana Yachts 145 for Tana Karotkin and Quinn 33. Carl Cook there going into 5th place with Coachella, and a nice cruise round for them. And for the rest of them, we see Alberto Michel with 2 in the top 5, finishing in second with Firewall, and in 3rd with Bugatti. Skylar Riley making up the 4th spot with Q Limbo. Carl Cook going 5th, and Erin Davis Heineking, NKH Cento Blue. to be in the 6th spot overall. There you go, confirmed. A win for Tanaka Rotkin. The Twiddle time to beat was not beaten. 61-31, long-time leader with Quinn 33. Abby Mishan, 2nd and 3rd. Skylar in 4th, Kielimbo. Carl Cook there, the last to go for Team Helios in 5th place with Coachella. And 6th to Erin Davis Heineking. Presentation coming up for that will be along later on as well. $138,600 class. 155 star later on this afternoon. That's just after 5 o'clock. And looking forward to seeing you back then. In the meantime, we've got a lot of 2-star for you to enjoy as well. And we'll see you later.
Congratulations again. Rotkin with Quinn 33. Tanner piloting the Storm Speed. Congratulations as well to Israel's Alberto Michon, second and third award. Second with Firewall, third with Bugatti. Congratulations again to the winning rider and today's Iguana Yachts 5-star speed stake, Tanner Karotkin of the U.S. with Quinn 33. And rounding out the top 3 will be Alberto Michon, second with Firewall, third with Bugatti.